find ourselves. Welcome to the local show. People you work with, people you know.
Welcome to another edition of the Local Show here on GrassRoots Community Network. I'm Eric Scarvin, your host. Happy February, guys. I hope you're having a great winter as we inch our way to the midway point of the ski season. I'm really happy that you joined us this week on GrassRoots Community Network. So excited to have a friend back on the show. I've known this guy for many, many moons, even with crescent moon snowshoes. That was kind of a little foreshadow. It's Andrew Bielecki.
Nice to see you.
And he's the event organizer for the Mother of All Ascensions, which is coming up in early March this year.
Yeah, it's a little later this year. But
yeah, welcome back to the show, buddy.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on.
And we've got, I get so confused because we've had Luna and Sammy on the show over the years, Sundog way back when. We got Marley on the set, and she's still getting her set legs, her TV legs on. So thank you for letting Marley join us today on the set.
Well, she's got her athletic dog legs on the set because I see the pictures you post on Facebook of her hauling you up places and going with you, and it's great to see that.
Yeah, we were sharing before the show. She hauled me up Midnight Mine a couple of days ago with some snowshoe clients who also owned a yellow lab, but were missing their dog. So she adds to the experiences and adds to my life for sure.
You're a great pet owner, Eric.
Thanks,
it's
buddy.
Great seeing those pictures.
Well, if you can manage if you can manage to stay single, your dogs are your kids. So it's extra important.
And your girlfriend and your and your wife.
Well, the girlfriends all just keep moving away, but the dog's pretty penned up in the house, so doesn't have much choice. So it's so excited. We're going to talk about the Mother of All Ascensions coming up March 4th this year.
Yeah.
It's back to a one-day format, but we wanted to start. Let us go back to do a little Sigmund Freud, go back to your childhood and tell me a little about your relationship with your mother. No, actually it is. It's where were your first influences? You grew up in Canada. What part of Canada?
In Ontario, just outside of Toronto.
Okay, just outside of Toronto. And what were your first outdoor athletic experiences? I know that your parents had some influence on that, but can you elaborate on that?
A lot of hiking when I was younger, camping trips, all over. I had relatives all over the States and on the East Coast, and they got me out there doing those things and got me into ski racing and a lot of different sports. I never played hockey or baseball, the team sports, but I did a couple other things.
Right. Well, you were asthmatic, which has also played a role in that because your parents kind of steered you away from the athletics, wondering if that was going to be safe for you, right? Well, so that's kind of an interesting thing.
I played classical piano, so they pushed me into that, and I studied for 10 years, and they wanted me to go down that road, and I always wanted to be an athlete. And I was like, I'm going to do this hell or high water. I'm getting out there, and I really started going hard when I was 18, running and doing different things, and would have attacks when I was competing.
Jeez.
But somehow pushed through it.
And how does that affect your life now? Are you still affected by asthma?
Every once in a while, I've spicy food could trigger it, something. But you never know when it's coming. I haven't had an attack for a while.
Okay.
Used to carry a little puffer around with me so I could. If something come up, you just a little Ventolin would open the bronchial pass and you'd be all set.
But your preference obviously is to be in the States, and in particular, you like the Roaring Fork Valley.
This is home.
Tell us about your affection to the valley, and including Snowmass Village.
Well, this place is magic. I moved from Hawaii here in 1992. Spent a lot of time here. I've been putting on the Mother for 33 years or 32 years.
It's incredible.
And this is a really special place. This is a magical spot. We are so blessed to be here. I feel it's a bubble in terms of what's going on in different parts of the country right now and in the world with what's happening. Yeah. We're very blessed to be able to be here. And just the interactions I have with, the people you see in town, and you can feel that love in everybody else's heart, that they're happy to be here.
Right. So. That commonality and that community, right? You really feel that community. I mean, there's nothing like in a small town, even though Aspen's and Snowmass has big city aspects and has been urbanized perhaps a little more since COVID, because you had urban refugees coming here, throwing down their urbanism and all that. But you run into people.
Nobody's eating the cats and the dogs.
Yeah, no, not yet. Thankfully, Marley, thankfully, I had to hide my dog here. But no, to run into someone on the street or the post office or the grocery store. I mean, half my social life's in the city market in the produce section usually. Oh, yeah. So, I buy heavily from there in the organic produce. But right, you recognize these people, and there's nothing like that, right? That small community sense.
Lots of hugs, just good vibrations, really, really good vibrations.
Yeah. So are you living in Snowmass Village now?
Yeah, I'm up in Snowmass.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm kind of all over. I just got back from Miami. I spent a few weeks in Miami, which was fun with a friend down there in Coconut Grove, and
nice.
Still spent some time in Canada on Vancouver Island. So
wow,
living the dream, as they say.
Right.
Feeling very lucky.
So spending time with friends and traveling around a bit, and now you're settled in for the rest of the winter. Obviously, you've got the event to work on here for a while. Which
is coming together. It's queued up great this year. I'm really happy about it. I'm happy about what we put together for this year. It's going to be fantastic.
That's super cool. Well, before we take a break, let's just go through the kind of the basics, date, time, how do people get registered and take part?
So it's March 4th this year, Fat Tuesday, March 4th. It's going to be a 7 o'clock sharp start like it used to be in the old days. It's in Snowmass Base Village. It starts slopeside on Fanny Hill. After the event, there's going to be a party in the collective, and that's where we're going to do the awards and the raffle. And we really want people to dress up this year. We want to bring that Mardi Gras spirit back, get everybody charged like they did in the old days. Yeah. I mean, back around 2000 when Leanne Reed was with the events department. Right. I think we had 300 people at that event at Gwen's that year, and it was phenomenal. When COVID hit, it changed a couple of things. We had to think outside of the box and move things around for that. So I'm excited to go back to a one-day format, and we'll see what happens this winter.
Yeah, you spread it out over a time frame of, what, was it a week or 2 weeks during COVID, so people could go whenever they had time, which has actually worked.
Yeah.
People had that flexibility and took advantage of that. But you didn't get that sense of not only the head-to-head competing, but the party together, all the other, again, like back to community, right? Yeah.
And that's what this is all about, is getting the community together out there to do something that's physical, get your heart rate up and see what's out there. Yeah. Get to the top of it, up by Gwen's, and you're looking out in that morning, and the sun's coming up, and it's so bliss. Amazing. Yeah.
There's nothing like early morning on the mountain. Yeah. So there's the whole beauty and the ambiance of that as well. We're going to take a quick break, Andrew. Rehydrate for the main body of the show.
Yeah, because
we're going to get into a lot of different things around the great outdoors.
This face down brown.
Rehydrate, dehydrate, whatever we're doing. We're having fun here on the local show set today. And I want to thank you guys for joining us each week, where we shoot Wednesday afternoons at GrassRoots TV studio here at the Red Brick Center for the Arts in downtown Aspen. We're on the West End more than downtown, but we want to thank our underwriters this season: Haiti Children, Klug Properties, Local Spirits, Paradise Bakery, Pitkin County Solid Waste Center. I hope you caught our show with Kathy Hall last week. You can find that on YouTube, of course. Sundog Athletics and the Wheeler Opera House. Hard for me to say. We'll be back right after this 2-minute break. It's our only break of the show, guys, with Andrew Bielecki. He's the event director for Mother of All Ascensions. We're going to talk about that and so much more, so don't go away.
Located in the heart of Aspen, the Wheeler Opera House is rooted in community and recognized globally, presenting live entertainment from comedy and music to dance and theater. Visit WheelerOperaHouse.com for a full schedule of events.
Living in Aspen is more than just owning a home. It's about embracing a way of life. I'm Chris Klug, and I've spent my life immersed in everything this mountain community has to offer, from skiing and snowboarding to art and culture. I understand what makes Aspen special. Discover the Aspen lifestyle with a broker who truly understands it.
Want to live like a local? Help us reduce food waste, a major contributor to climate change.
You can help in 3 simple ways.
Plan menus carefully and only buy what you need.
Collect unused scraps for compost.
Buy ugly fruits and vegetables.
Reduce food waste.
Live like a local.
Locally owned and operated, Local Spirits has low prices, a convenient location next to Exxon gas station with parking, and is Aspen's exclusive cigar dealer. 3% back with our loyalty program. Sundog Athletics, Aspen's adventure sports school and snowshoeing specialists since 1996. Brought to you by Paradise Bakery and Gelateria, serving Aspen for 42 years.
Welcome to the local show. People you work with, people you know.
Thank you for sticking with us on the Locals Show here on GrassRoots Community Network. Not to be confused with other shows on other TV networks that might sound similar. This is our 20th anniversary this month, guys. We started shooting in 2005, and I'm joined by a friend back on the show after a couple years now.
Yeah,
Andrew Bielecki. We go way back, and before we get into the more meat and potatoes of the mother of all Ascensions, I want to talk about snowshoeing because, dude, like when I first met you, you were like the Michael Jordan of snowshoeing. You have these and you still see these images of you kind of like jumping in the air, doing almost like aerials with snowshoes on, and we had a race called Extreme Heat down in the Great Sand Dunes National Park where we're running around in sand on snowshoes, and pictures from that. Can you just talk about kind of like your relationship with the sport of snowshoeing?
Well, I was a runner. When I moved to Hawaii, I got into triathlons and running 10Ks and marathons and ultras. And
wow.
I moved to Aspen in '92, and in the winter, I thought I'm going to spend one winter here, and I thought snowshoeing was just kind of exploding then. That's when Red Feather, Atlas, Tubbs, the big 3 were kind of hit the floor all at the same time with their products. And wrote them for sponsorship and started doing snowshoe races, like the one Day of Infamy.
Yes.
Down at
Sunlight. Down at Babish Gulch.
Yeah, that was one of the was the first snowshoe race I ever did, and Tom Sobel was there, and I think you were there.
Yes.
And then we did the Mount Albert race a few
years
after.
Which they called the World Snowshoe Championships with Bill Perkins, who founded Red Feather. Put on that race up and over Mount Albert. Talk about that a little bit, because I remember we were actually racing for a while together.
Yeah,
the climb. I remember going up that huge climb.
And Albert has got those false summits.
Yes.
And I'd never been up Albert, and I'm
teasing you.
And I'm going, oh, we're at the top. Oh no, we're not. Oh, we're at the top. No, we're not. Oh, we're at the top.
Because we came in from like the Twin Lakes side, not the Northeast Ridge.
Yeah.
We came in kind of a longer route.
Yeah. I mean, a good friend of mine, Jay Magidson, we went down, and you know Jay. And his wife Ingrid, phenomenal artist in the Valley. She does amazing work. We did that race together. It was one of our, I got him out there, and we had just a blast of a time. They don't do that anymore. It's too bad. Like a lot of, there's a different time period back then. There just seemed like there was so much of a bubble of our age bracket at that time doing that stuff. There's so many, and now people are doing different things. And
there's another funny thing about the race. I went over with Chris Lane, who now runs Aces, and Frank McDonald, the Irishman who still lives in town. At the start, when the race director was giving these really serious instructions, it's like, hey, we're about to go up to 14,400 feet in the middle of the winter. But they had like an igloo, by the way, like aid station you go into for your food and drink. Frank lights up a cigarette. I remember that was the perfect kind of, icebreaker. Everyone's kind of like nervous, like, what are we getting ourselves into? And you've got that apprehension and all that. And Frank kind of lights up a cigarette. And we're like, nice. And we had a chuckle there. But Yeah, so did you snowshoe race then for a bunch of years? Or?
Yeah, Red Feather sponsored me for many years. And
Okay.
you're sponsored by Crescent Moon now.
Yeah,
Yeah. And Jake Tam, who started that company,
Yes.
they sponsored a bunch of events I did years ago. I did a series of night races. So we lined the course with tiki torches and glow sticks.
right.
And we did them in Aspen.
Yeah.
We did them all over. We called them the Hula Moon Snowshoe Classic. So there was like a Hawaiian theme to it, bringing it from Hawaii. Because my dream, after doing that event in the dunes, extreme heat, I wanted to do those types of races at 5 different dune locations in the United States.
Oh, wow.
With finishing it in Hawaii, knowing that the press would have gone off the first snowshoe race ever in Hawaii. It would have been great for the snowshoe companies at that time because that was just catching on. And I thought snowshoeing would, really launch but it never did. It reached this point.
Kind of plateaued.
Yeah, now it's like everybody's uphilling with.
That would have been interesting though, to
skinning up
continue on with the use on sand, because then maybe expanding that out to recreationalists who might want to try it on sand.
Well, they did,
which was pretty legit. I mean,
they designed a shoe.
Get extra traction, extra stabilization, bigger platform basically.
Yeah.
And we'd run out on the extreme heat race. What was that, a 5K or a 10K?
Yeah, it was a 5K.
And you also had costumes at that event. Road Warrior, I think, was one of the categories. There was like Arabic or something.
Yeah.
It's like women in belly dancer outfits.
Yeah.
Dudes like a half a shoulder pad. Yeah. I mean, and then we had a epic party, I think sponsored by Tabasco.
Yeah,
it was like a Mexican buffet. You had a keg or two.
Yeah, Blue Sky Sodas.
Dude, you have awesome events, man.
Yeah. There were some really
So
great
why didn't
sponsors.
that Sand Series expand? Was it just a sponsorship question?
Well,
or
Extreme Heat is not only the name of the event, but it's what I got into by putting that event on.
Oh yeah, with
the park, with the Park Service
Park
and that
Service
at the
stuff.
time. So it was
and
and
a little bit complicated that way.
Yeah, they wanted to shut it down. It had run for 5 years, and for whatever reasons, but. It was great while it lasted.
Let's talk about your creativity, because that's a big part of these events is how do you tap your creativity? I mean, you just go out and exercise. Like for me, I'm out on a bike ride or a snowshoe or a skinning up the mountain, and I get these ideas. How do you come up with this stuff, and tap your creativity for event directing?
It comes to you. I think when you go into that meditative state.
Yeah.
Like, this. You get out there, you're running, you're skinning, you're snowshoeing, you're cycling. The first short bit of time that you're out there, you're getting into it. And then all of a sudden you get into the Zen state.
Right.
And it just allows for that to come into you and flow through you. Exactly. And when you finish and you go back, you've got your work in for the day, you go back home, and then all of a sudden I'm going, hey, I can do this, 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 and this. And I'm always looking for the pieces that kind of connect,
right?
In terms of sponsorship, like that event down at the dunes was Blue Sky Sodas, Nile Spices, Desert Essence. All the names of the sponsors had a desert theme to them. And the mother of all Ascensions is not like that, but it's been a goal of mine wanting to create another event that has that kind of formula.
It's kind of a theme, and then these partnerships and collaborations are key, right?
Well, people see
your line of sponsors is incredible.
Well, when I wrote Tabasco, the proposal I wrote on sandpaper, so so when people would get it, they would feel the tactility of the paper.
I feel this guy, literally.
Yeah.
Like I can feel his creativity.
Yeah, I was like, whoa.
He's definitely on the edge. Is this what we want? With our branding.
I would draw these envelopes. I wish I would have brought one, but I would draw these envelopes and put quotes on the back. So before people even knew what I was asking for, they were spending some time with me. They saw the graphics on the envelope. They flipped it over and read some quotes, whatever you can do or dream you can, begin it. Boldness had genius, power, and magic in it. A quote by Goethe. That I sent that to Royal Robbins, and that was his favorite quote. So there was another way of connecting with people, not only with the art, but with the quote on the back of the envelopes. And that's a formula that I've been doing for 30 years now. And then boxes are involved with, things in them, and, I think I'm an artist in a sense.
Yeah.
And I use that as an outlet to create art. But when somebody gets a box that comes across their desk or an envelope or something like that, we're losing that.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
everything's internet oriented.
Yeah, I like that. I like that because you're standing out right away. You know, the first impression, it's like, this is unique. This is different. This is exciting. This is intelligent and creative. And you hit so it's the prep before, it's the actual partnering, collaborating, creating these partnerships, like sponsorships, for example, to the event itself. And then after the event. So it's really before, during, and after. You really try to bring in a lot of uniqueness and creativity, which makes the events more fun, right? I mean, it's just, people remember your events, buddy.
It's worked. You know, that's, as you know, the goodie bag that we do each year for the event is phenomenal, thanks to all the people that contribute product to go into that. But after the event, I'd like to take them around the valley to any of the local sponsors that have donated dinners for two or merchandise, and there's tons of them. Yeah. And to go back and be able to say thank you, and you know, I feel like I'm part of a team. You know, like, yeah, I organize this, or what do you want to call me, a race director or whatever, but I'm actually just a conduit that this stuff flows through me, and I give it to somebody else, and stuff flows back through me, and they give it to somebody else, and I like being in that position, you know, just, hey, thanks, there you
on
go.
both sides of it. The sponsor side and the participant side. You're a facilitator. You're facilitating these amazing experiences and bringing everyone along. And then there's also follow-up, too. It's not just, hey, we're done, bye. You know, it's like you follow up with the sponsors. In fact, let's hit on some of the major sponsors, because you brought in Strafe this year.
I'm really psyched to have them on board. Victor is awesome. They've been doing some great stuff for the last couple of years. As you know, they give some clothing to give away at the awards ceremony, and their stuff is bomb-proof. It's absolutely stellar. I love it. You know, great local company. And this is something that I've always wanted. If you look at this, aside from Stanley, you know, all the companies on this are local companies, and that was my dream ever since I created this, you know, that I had Tabasco as a sponsor, but they're not an Aspen or Roaring Fork Valley sponsor. And that's, I wanted to bring this into the valley and, you know, promote the businesses that are here, that this is our community. This town of Snowmass Village has been huge support, like Shane Vetter and Jamie Wall have just been rock solid this year. This is going to be a great event, you know. East-West Partners, the Romero Group, Base Camp Bar and Grill, the Collective where the party's going to be, you know. It's and
of course, Aspen Snowmass, Aspen Skiing Company
this is skiing
critical.
Company, and we navigated some things. There's been changes, as we all know, since COVID and on the mountain with a lot of things that have happened, and they are there. Like, it's like all of a sudden, I just feel like I got a huge hug this year from like all these sponsors. It's just like, awesome. Wow. And Marble Distilling, as always, you know. This is something I brought for you, brother.
Oh, thanks,
I know how much you like whiskey. So
you know, I usually wait till after the show, but in this case, no.
We could
I appreciate that. Cheers, man. That's very nice of you. Let's get into. We're already down to just 3 minutes, but let's get into a little more because you're really encouraging the costumes this year, and we have some fun images of
we're gonna do
past teams and past costumes. We'll bring up some of the pictures, but talk a little bit more about the costume aspect.
Over the years, it has been amazing. You know, it's called the Mother of All Ascensions. So one year, a couple of ladies showed up dressed as nuns. You know.
Oh, they're ascending.
I called
in
them
more than one way.
I called them the nasty habits.
I like it.
But there's been everybody from Batman to Superman to Flash has been there one year. There's people dressed up as hot dogs. You know, Kathy McGowan and Sam Lourdes. I don't know if I'm saying her name correct.
Lourdes,
But that group of girls does a team thing every year, and they were like the Jimmy Buffetts last year or something with grass skirts in a bar, and it's just and every year their costumes just blow me away. You know, the effort and energy that they put into it. But it just shows again the spirit, like what this is all of. It's supposed to be fun.
And that's judged usually by the crowd, because remember at the party, we'll give like a round of applause for the different costumes and then the team costumes. And you also do you do age category awards?
We've got
for like the hardcore racers.
Yeah, we've got age category awards. We have so many prizes, as you know, that everybody wins one or two things, and they're nice prizes. You know, the goodie bag is worth about $50.
Wow.
The entry fee, by the way, this year is $60.
Okay.
Half of it goes to the Hope Center. That's $30.
Awesome.
But
That's awesome.
what I want to see, and this is what as we work toward the 35th anniversary, I want all the money to go to the Hope Center. But there's certain hard costs that we have to cover.
Sure.
And once the sponsorship money cues that up and takes care of that,
Right.
then all of this money can go to the Hope Center, which would be, that's the goal that I've had for years since I aligned with them.
That's very commendable. That's very cool to give back that way to the community. Where can people go to register and find out more, buddy? Because we're down to our last minute here.
www.snowfusion.com. My phone number is 250-266-0022. You want to give me a call. But all that information's on the website. It's on the poster.
We got the posters here. We'll bring one up on the screen, too. But I want to thank you for joining us this week, man. Mother of all Ascensions, guys. It's Tuesday, March 4th. I will definitely be there. I've only missed one or two, and we're trying to figure that out. And this will be the 33rd. Mother of all Ascensions, up Snowmass, just over 2,000 vertical feet is the course.
2,073 vertical feet, 2.1 miles. Winners will be up in 30 minutes, if that, hour and a half if you're slower.
Yeah.
The party's right after at the Collective. It'll be a rockin' party.
Back
this year.
down to the base at the
To the
Collective.
Base Village, yeah.
Did you have fun, man?
I always have fun.
This has been such a treat to have you here.
I love seeing you, and I really appreciate your support over the years, Eric. You're an inspiration. You keep doing what you're doing, man. You're
Thanks, man.
makes me emotional. Oops,
Oh,
I'm
buddy.
not supposed to touch my mic.
Thank you, Andrew, and thank you guys for watching this week on The Local Show. Cheers. Thanks, man. Dude, that's so sweet, man. They're very nice of you.
Located in the heart of Aspen, the Wheeler Opera House is rooted in community and recognized globally, presenting live entertainment from comedy and music to dance and theater. Visit WheelerOperaHouse.com for a full schedule of events.
Community is at the heart of Aspen, and I take great pride in being a part of it. I'm Chris Klug, and as a lifelong Aspen resident, my connection to this community runs deep. My involvement in local events and charities isn't just about giving back. It's about staying in tune with the community I love. Allow me to help you find your place in our incredible community together.
Join the string beans in helping reduce food waste in our community.
Plan menus carefully and only buy what you need.
Collect unused scraps for compost.
Ask for smaller portions in restaurants.
Take home leftovers to eat later.
Donate unopened food to our food bank.
Let's work in concert to reduce food waste.
Sundog Athletics, Aspen's adventure sports school and snowshoeing specialists since 1996.
Welcome to the local show. People you work with, people you know.
Смотрите GrassRoots телевидение, 12 канал Aspen.
Оглядачи GrassRoots телевизия.
Вы смотрите телевидение GrassRoots, канал 12.
Cześć, oglądacie GrassRoots Television, kanał 12 Aspen.
Вы смотрите телевидение GrassRoots, канал 12.
Hi,